And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Roccat and Huma are making their adjustments on stage as we're heading into game 4 of this best of 5. What can we expect this time around for picks and bans?
Crazy stuff, clearly. I mean, I don't think we can expect anything anymore. Coming into it, Huma is again, blue side will be for the last few games. That won't change. Rocket's been banning Jax every game, probably going to stay the same. They banned Kalista as well. I think it's fine. Last one was a Fiora ban, and I wonder if they want to play it safe and be like, oh, okay, we don't want to play against this global comp. Either ban the TF, or we don't want to risk this Jhin composition, so we ban away to Jhin instead.
Oh, Jhin or TF. Do you think Freddy's going to play Poppy at all? Because it doesn't feel like it to me. And it's interesting because of just how popular and how prevalent Poppy is.
And it should be his kind of pick.
Every other team.
You know, it should be his kind of pick 100%. So it's a massive weakness in pick and bans if Roccat are not able to play it. So far, they put more focus on other picks. Trundle ban stays the same. Sivir would then be the last ban from Huma, and then Roccat would have to change. Wait, Huma actually banned the Jhin now.
Okay, so they don't want that in Tabs' hands. Now, to go back to game 1, Huma have banned the Jhin in games 1 and 2, in fact.
And here's the TF ban, so we were correct. We nailed it. We even got a Jhin ban in it as well.
Nidalee first?
Nidalee first pick.
Fiora is available.
I think that's fine. I'm not that worried about the Fiora pick just yet. I think the Poppy actually had much more impact. Interesting, they're going away. Okay, so technically we talked about this just off air because we didn't want the viewers to hear, but now we will tell them. The Rudy actually didn't have much of an impact on Italy in these games here, so I'm in a way not surprised, but Airwax have had good games. And now we give him the best jungler in the game on 6.5. And also the Corki pick, which we saw before. Betsy was winning lane again, putting a lot of pressure in that lane. Corki will almost always have the pushing power in lanes, and that sets up this Nidalee so effectively. Different style coming in from Roccat, obviously, because Nidalee is now open. And Huma is surely going to build a comp, either purely 1-3-1 or just around, like a Gragas, around this Sivir, because Sivir does so well when she has tanks in front of her, because she will buff up these tanks and allow them so easily to get in the face of the enemy carries, and it becomes very difficult to be an enemy carry against a comp like this. So Huma is saying, you know what, boys? It's team fighting time.
So what do Huma want to round this up? Do they want to put a tank in the top lane in Poppy with maybe a Lissandra mid?
Love it.
They know it might be difficult early.
I mean,
or
Huma still has two options. Cancel run, 1-3-1 setup.
Or go 4-1.
Or 4-1, like run a Fiora top lane and then take, you know, randomly a LeBlanc or whatever mid lane and play 1-3-1, or Lissandra mid lane I think would be even better in this case here for Huma. Haven't seen Gabbro use it, at least not recently.
He does play it, has done so during the course of the regular split. It didn't go particularly well. 1-8-1 was his final stat.
Maybe there's a reason Lissandra hasn't been picked.
But we'll see what Huma decide to run. Gabbro has played a lot of meta champions, and it is the Braum Alistar. So a lot of siege, a lot of poke. Holy Phoenix is as chill as can be after it was his curtain call that kept Huma's chances alive at the Nexus push.
But like this double AD carry comp in these big team fights won't be able to do a whole lot. Like they will not get through this massive front line Huma is built up. So I think, like again, I would love a Lissandra pick here in this case and just have like a TP Lissandra pick, and then if you want to run a split pusher, go for the Fiora for Whirlwind up top. Otherwise just take the Poppy. And just have this composition that can just dive the backline of Roccat so easily. Like, we are in the tank meta. Embrace it. How is Corki Illusion ever going to kill Alistar, Gragas, Poppy?
Would Huma ever consider a Lulu? It is available. Lulu Fiora.
They could. You would put a lot of the damage onto the Sivir as an option, but it is definitely likely they can pick it. Or we go full tanks and we go Nautilus mid lane, boys.
So Nautilus mid for Gabbro, another champion.
He did play it in the final against Copenhagen Wolves.
Yes, he did. We'll find out if he can make it work better than he did then.
All right,
we didn't have the greatest impact.
Embracing the tank meta. 4 tanks and a Sivir to buff them. So the best AD carry possible to buff the tanks against a double AD carry composition.
With poke from Nidalee.
With some poke in here against so much hard engage. Like, Rockat's comp is going to have such a hard time killing anyone.
Deficio, earlier today you tweeted this was going to be a 3-0.
I mean, it looked like it after the 2-0.
You're already wrong. And this team composition, Huma have all of the tools to deal with Roccat.
I mean, this is going to be one of those games where the mid game is just Huma forcing fights on fights on fights on fights. And Roccat legit only has like the advantage in the straight up early game with the Corki lane and the Nidalee invading onto Gragas, and then obviously again a Illusion.
So are Roccat looking this time around for standard lanes? They want to like
I feel like
use
you
of
have
that
to stand
Nidalee.
lanes here as Roccat. Like, okay, so look at it two ways, right? Huma has been bad in lane swaps, so if you look at just as a team thing, you might want to lane swap just because they have been poor in it. But if you want to set up Nidalee, you want to set up the Corki, you know, with the Nidalee, the 2v2, you then obviously are looking for standard lanes.
The risk is
to invade in.
If you don't get an advantage in the lane swap, you accelerate the early game.
Yeah, you do.
You let the Tonky Tonks get even tonkier.
What ends up happening as well with these full tank comps is they have so much base damage because tanks right now are insanely strong. So like all through the mid and early late game, they will be able to kill you 80 carries very easily. When you should get full late game, however, full late game.
How late is full late?
We're talking like 5 items, basically.
Okay, 5 items.
4 to 5 items. You have BT and more on these carries here. Suddenly the tanks won't have damage to kill them.
Okay.
But even Poppy is still pretty broken at that point. I mean, I like this full tank comp when you see double 80 carry. I think it's so strong.
So Huma have gone all in on the tanks. Let's see if they can make that one work. Hashtag HMA win. I really want to revisit that Twitter vote after seeing the ending of Game 3. Roccat on stage beneath their flag. They need one more win out of these next 2 games to close it out. And as we load up onto the riff, Rudy yells his customary, "Hi, it's Rudy."
How do you know he's yelling? He's typing it.
I'm inferring it. And you know, it doesn't matter. The viewers don't know any different. I'm telling them that he's yelling it.
All right, fine.
It's more exciting for my narrative.
Okay.
Summoner's Rift.
You don't normally yell your name, though.
Rudy gets caught by the javelin toss.
Step 1 of invading starts at level 1, and Airwax, he already knows what to do. Land 2 spears in a row.
30 seconds until minions
Damage
spawn.
advantage.
Gets the deep vision in. So, does Roccat focus on lane swap because they are the better lane swapping team? Or do they want Airwax to become the early game carry on this Nidalee?
Well,
Even in a lane swap, technically Nidalee should be able to outfarm Gragas big time and have more pressure. This is going to be a level 1 fight now.
I don't think I've seen teams fighting over placing wards more heavily. This basically just becomes a guessing game, doesn't it? Now, let's see. Does Whirlip back
Minions have
away?
spawned.
Well, seeing as, you know, Huma would have to have the Sivir Alistar waiting on the tower up here at this tier 1 tower in order to now dodge around these wards. So they're going to be spotted no matter what.
All right.
There we go, we spot them. So now Roccat knows they are on the top side.
What is the reaction from Roccat?
I want to see it. I want to see. They are going top, so they're taking standard.
Right.
But again, actually, they
Look,
actually don't know because
double bluff.
they went mid. So you can always just run mid and just delay. They're going to spot them again. And now we get lane swaps coming in. It's still not the end of the world for Roccat. They are still a better team at this.
All right.
If they're able to execute it. If Huma has been able to adjust some of the mistakes they made, it's hard in between games when it comes to lane swaps. Something you practice over and over in scrims. But if they are maybe able to adjust some of it, this could benefit them as a team.
All right, let's find out how Roccat are going to handle the lane swap. They've already shown this series that they are stronger. Going to start off the early invade.
And Whirlip is not double jumping because he actually walks straight to lane.
Going to find Whirlip out. So
Hey.
that double bluff helping out Roccat in some ways. Whirlip decides to try to put some challenge down. Level 1 on both Airwax and Freddy, so no taunts available. Support even comes in from Noxiac, so this will make the Sentinel very easy to be picked up. And this is going to put Whirlip even further behind Freddy, although I don't think it's going to be an absolutely massive amount just yet.
No, I just mean Freddy is like close to level 2.
Oh, Betsy gets pulled in by the dredge line.
Get a good tower shot. So Nautilus will get pushed down in this lane, but it's almost impossible
Really?
to kill him. Yeah, no, hey, there you go. Technically, he does have good pushback with his E, but against the Corki, it is fairly difficult. You just have such a hard time killing him, and he just wants to honestly get out of this laning phase and just start team fighting in the big game.
All right, so can Huma survive the laning phase? It is lane swap. Towers will be pressured both top and bottom. I think Roccat will have a minor advantage in timing, but not by lots.
No, they are slightly ahead on it. It's been the same in every lane swap so far this series. Game 1, when we had the same setup, Roccat pushed the bottom lane, didn't bounce it. Ended up giving over quite a lot of extra farm to Freddy, very unnecessary. Roccat, because they want to rush it down, ends up sharing gold between multiple members, even support taking it, which normally is a big no-no. Support gets nothing in this world. Bottom side, let's see if the bounce is happening. It is from Whirlip this time around.
All right, so slightly better than from Huma. I think that was shared between Holy Phoenix and Whirlip, if I caught that little glimpse correctly.
It was.
Freddy's going to be receiving a fair amount of CS as well as the wave's pushing towards him.
But it's the same again, where Roccat are faster on the swaps, so Freddy will gain more farm. Honestly, right now as a Poppy, you literally just have to try and take
farm.
what you can get.
Hey, there we go. 1, 2, 3.
There we go. Yeah, so basically,
3 CS.
He just tries to push it out, and he waits long enough that he spots the dual lane from Roccat is already past the ward you see in lane. You can see even the ping from Huma. So now they know, okay, they have walked past this one. They are on the bottom side, so I can't push in like the 5 minutes I do have and gain something. But big difference between him and Freddy. Also remember, Freddy got the extra camps, obviously, together with his jungler. Gabro is TP back, and for some reason we're showing it because it is a highlight.
It is a very big highlight, just demonstrating the double TP comp. Thank you, observers, for pointing that out to us. He's running the Flash Exhaust. Also, Holy Phoenix, difference in his itemization. He's grabbed the Cull this time round.
I like it.
Sends a bit of a signal in terms of maybe what Huma's intentions are going to be during this early game.
Going double thorns is just so out of the meta anymore. It's not cool. It's not hot anymore.
It's just not hot.
No, like Coast is so hot right now, so you have to go for it. And again, yeah, you lose a bit of HP, but you gain more gold. You even get a bit more extra life coming. And ROC is now able to invade. He finds Rudy.
Rudy will not be under threat from the javelin toss. ROC will be predicting somewhat of a dodge. We'll lose access to the Raptor,
Rudy on the bottom side? Like, when you have a lane swap, you do not go towards the enemy's dual
That's where the Raptors were.
But you don't even want the Raptors at this point. Go take the enemy. Oh, they're not there.
They're not there.
No Raptors for anyone.
No Raptors for anyone but Airwax. He managed to pick up the
So someone got Raptors.
camp. Rudy.
And now he's like, oh, Raptors?
Oh,
no
right.
Raptors.
So Rudy just a little bit out of his depth this series.
Yeah. Just never go to the bottom side. You will get forced up by the enemy jungler every single time. You cannot fight it.
Airwax has already farmed himself up an advantage. Towers will be traded once again. Shared this time by Freddy and Noxy. Noxy actually make his way out just in time. That he does.
Blue team's turret.
So no big advantages either side, although Roccat have actually farmed 700 gold. Look at the CS difference in both top and mid lane and jungle.
I mean, again, there's a lot of good things for this Roccat lane swap. Again, they've been slightly better at it. You isolate mid lane for the 1v1, so Corgi can just keep pushing it over and over. Mid lane will outfarm the Gragas and like always get 1 or 2 extra camps in the swaps here before the Gragas can really gain anything, because you can always steal away a few camps. Freddy is now getting caught out.
All right, let's see. Cast will not be able to do anything else because Freddy flashes.
Yeah.
So, summon a spell blown. I don't think that's the end of the world. Against a Rammus, of course. But Godbro has access to that depth charge. Down 20 odd, roughly, CS.
Now the teams are even though, in terms of the next push here with the big wave, because Roccat had to catch it pretty far down, pushing up the Sivir. At this point here, you want to have your jungler on top lane on the side with your AD carry again, but Willip is running from the top side, and also Gragas has been recalling on the side of Rudy, so it's actually only 2 members pushing. This is not the correct play by Huma, because now Freddy's allowed to go down and actually soak up this experience. They see jungler mid, he can get experience and not only last this, but get full experience, and he won't get dove on the tower.
Get those levels.
He's just sitting actually across the wall because he gets the experience here on this side of the wall. Even has a ping to be like, is there anyone who can see me here? No, get some experience.
Just in case.
While Whirlip is trying to do the same. But Eric is here and Rudy.
Out of position, not the right place. Whirlip decides to go aggressive onto Tabs. Tabs gets a decent amount of damage down and Rudy forced to run away. Javelin toss just breaks the shield of Godbro.
Huma's just kind of selling their own top laner by allowing Freddy to take this wave, get the experience from it, and now he's going to have another wave coming he can slowly push out. Whirlip will try and do the same, but now Rift Herald is open for Roccat to take. And again, by having your jungler show up there, you know the enemy jungler is there, and the Gragas can't do anything. So you're also allowing Arex to kind of control 3 jungles at once, and just let him get extra farm, because Rudy's trying to follow him.
Well, you contrast the amount of CS that Airwax has been able to pick up. 44 to the 26 of Rudy. Airwax already access to level 6. Rudy just pinged it. A full level ahead is Airwax. Just from playing the jungle camps well. And
early they swapped Godbro to the bottom lane. Hasn't even completed his 1 item yet. Want to really utilize potentially double TP, but like Freddy's obviously pushing out this lane fairly slowly on the bottom side.
That ward's been there from about 5.5 minutes, by the way.
Okay.
Keeping track and how long it survives. I don't know how many players it's spotted yet, but
still good vision.
It could reveal a crucial piece of information in terms of timing for Airwax.
You actually want the ward normally placed a bit further forward in the bush, so you spot them when they run from the crooks down to red buff.
Yeah.
It's actually placed on the bottom side, so you only catch them.
Too far right.
You only catch them if they run the slow, long
Look at that.
path
Rammus
down.
just walked into vision.
Yeah.
Will he clear the bush out? I don't
No.
think so.
We've seen Roccat do not care about checking these bushes. They want the most efficient pathing. So they do see Freddy on top side. Not really a surprise, because on the bottom side is the AD carry and top laner, so obviously Freddy's not sitting there. And now he's waiting for this wave to come out, so actually farm will even up for Whirlip because of this big wave that was not bounced back by Roccat. They didn't manage to get tower. Both teams tried to push it all the way out. Then Roccat decided, Huma decided we want to defend instead of push further. Therefore, Freddy got some farming experience, and now he will catch the wave coming in towards him.
All right, Betsy's going to have to catch this wave in the middle lane as Holy Phoenix and Cast have shoved it in.
I'm still surprised it's so early Huma swapping Nautilus bot, because that surrenders the bot lane completely against the Lucian Braum lane. Instead of actually being Gabro just trying to, because it's a lot easier for you to wave clear in a short lane like mid lane with the 2 tier 1 towers as the Nautilus. Sitting on bottom side, the lane will always push down. And when you are pushing down a lane, it allows you to get into an enemy jungle instead of vision, and it forces the other team to defend. And as a lot of the European coaches like to talk about, if you're defending, you are losing. Because you do not gain any vision yourself.
Well, that seems to be the case. Roccat have already earned 1,500 gold or more just in farming. Full channel culling will break Titan's Wrath on Godbro. And he's under siege. A gigantic minion wave has been pulled up. Now Taps run out of mana. Support's coming in from Airwax as well as Cast and Rudy.
But like, Huma is not able to push out anything. Mid lane is always going to be pushed in by Corki. He's a level above the Sivir, obviously, as a mid laner. Top lane is even 1v1 farm. They're dead even in CS. And then bot lane, of course, the Lucian Braum is going to push into Nautilus. So, as we just said here, Huma is forced to defend and be passive and just kind of scale up for first, second item. Freddy's trying to pull him back into the minion wave here and take some damage from the cannon as well. So, we have Roccat with some deep vision, getting a little bit extra here. Can even pull off the Dragon. That's again the next thing. Dragon is never the #1 play you aim for. But when you have pushed in everything, there's nothing else to gain. Fine, go back, take the Dragon.
And look at the vision from Roccat. Several deep wards just slowly starting to time up, but inside the jungle of Huma. Roccat doing a pretty good job. That pink ward that was behind the red buff has been cleared out, and Betsy is already up around 60 or so CS above Godbro. 50, correction.
He's
halfway to Flame Horizon.
He's almost 1,000 gold ahead. And we are 11 minutes into the game.
That's almost the entire gold lead that Roccat have over Huma.
And this also, like, it's what happens when you just, like, Nautilus go bot lane. Yeah, just wait for that wave to come in.
Run away!
You will lose a lot of it because you will get pressured off tower by the 3-man.
Now, if there's one consolation to this, if Godbro is able to TP in, get a good dredge line or a good depth charge onto one of the 2 carries, yes, he is behind, but there is still a lot of utility that can come from the kit of Nautilus.
And like, you have high base numbers as Nautilus. One of the reasons he's so strong. Still, you normally want to farm it out for at least 1 item fully completed. Better case, even add in, you know, a step towards the next item, and then you start fighting, because these tank items have so much value early on when there's no penetration coming.
Oh, great play by Cast. He flashes into the pulverize. Defensive flash from Airwax, and he pounces over the wall. Airwax manages to get out alive. Flash for flash traded.
Good play though by Huma, trying to get a kill here. Gabro, as expected, is still getting denied everything right now.
In trouble. Cast is in trouble. Airwax
has no
looking for revenge. Javelin toss into a pounce over the wall. Stunned in place after the ulti's been used. First blood picked up by Godbro. That's going to help out a lot. Noxiac is still alive. He gets bounced away by Poppy as Airwax will be the next target. Now Cast is under threat. A double kill. All of the good work that Roccat had accrued undone in one fight.
I think they listened to your call here, Trevor, about the Alistar being in trouble. They're like, oh yeah, maybe he is. Maybe we should jump him. But he's level 6. So he obviously just popped ulti straight away. And now all these tanks here from Huma, they get out of the laning phase and get into a fight. We talked about, again, high base numbers. You can take down these carries very easily. 2 kills for them. And this was a situation where Huma were losing and losing and losing in the side lanes. Because, again, the Nautilus just do nothing. Roccat opts into the pick onto an Alistar. Is that 2 kills for Godbro?
That is 2 kills.
That is 2 kills. And
both of them, plus first blood.
He's actually still behind 1,000 gold because there was a kill for Betsy, but he could have been even further behind. And you know what we say, Trevor?
Tell me what we say.
2 kills, that's good.
Okay, 2 kills, that's good?
Yeah, 2 kills is really good.
Getting 2 kills, that's good.
Getting 100% kill participation.
This one's right to Fishio, by the way.
It's good.
So it should be his picture on the grayscale motivation
No,
poster.
I'm making sure we get to reuse your quote and picture.
Okay. I'll make sure we keep that up as the game plays
There's
out.
been some good pictures, you know, from this series.
Merc Treads picked up for Godbro. Bomby Cinder, Chain Vest, another Cloth Armor. When you look at the Roccat side, there is a lot of magic damage that comes out of Betsy, but if you can get locked down, it's a lot of auto attacks that have to be placed, and there's not traditionally a lot of lifesteal inside the Corki build.
This Roccat composition going into mid-game, you know, it is by no means looking to just take these straight-up team fights, because it's everything Huma's comp can do. So the fact they actually opted into that fight to try and kill the Alistar, it's gonna come back and bite them. It gave Huma more than it should have gotten in a very, very bad situation, where they were basically losing the side lanes and pushing in, and Corki could always push in mid lane as well and slowly hit this tower, and like a massive CS difference between it's actually 100 CS now for Betsy.
Flame Horizon before 15 minutes.
Obviously, again,
scary.
does it count when you swap him out of the lane?
It does.
Okay.
It does. Because it's just the statistical difference between opponents in the same lane. That's in theory.
All right, I'll take it.
Yep.
They are basically laning against each other now on the bottom side.
After 15 minutes, Betsy's going to have some support here from Airwax, while Holy Phoenix is now playing the Tabs job from previous games, where he's just going to sit mid lane and farm, push out the waves. 145 CS to 120. Holy Phoenix has got a couple hundred gold more than Tabs. And up top, Freddy, Tremors has already been used, so that explains why Whirlip is so low. Don't fire it out. Whirlip does not take off with the helicopter swing.
I do think
that cooldown back.
Roccat in this situation could have kept Corki mid lane, because you already have the Braum Lucian, which is going to push in Nautilus. And by keeping the Corki mid, you have full mid lane pressure. Now, as we've seen, Sivir can push it out really quickly as well. And then every time the mid lane gets cleared, Betsy is afraid to move forward on bot lane, because there's such a high chance Huma just roams down with Alistar Sivir and collapses on Betsy and kills him. So you actually need that mid lane pressure, and you should have kept the Corki mid there. Because Lucian Braum are already pushing bot side.
Alright.
Walk into the jungle, and then like start threatening a potential dive on Sivir mid, and then you can take mid tower.
Well, listen, Roccat don't know how to do anything but 1-3-1, because for the 4th game in a row, we're in 1-3-1.
You can still 1-3-1
the exact
and
same players.
you can just do a 1-1-3. Like you can put your Braum,
No, because
Lucian,
that's not 1-3-1.
No, but
1-1-3 is different to 1-3-1. It's in the name.
you can still just... You want to have mid lane push every single time. They're going to get it now because Sivir recalled, but this tower is so low. Corki right now would already kill this tower, and then you could swap in bot lane.
Alright, well, Corki's
Look at
going
that
bot
free
lane
gold
again.
right there.
It's not going to go down.
A bag of gold
It's not going to go
covered
down.
as a tower.
Bag of gold covered as a tower.
It's a weird bag of gold.
Not going to be able to pick that one up. As they've decided to back away. Playing this one safely. Betsy is still sitting down the bottom lane. Teleport's available for all 3 players that have them. And still no completed Sunflake there for Godbro. He's got, more armor, more CDR.
And now Roccat can't even fight mid lane without the 3 members from Huma because there's double TP. And Betsy can't join as a Corki. So they're putting themselves in a situation where Huma gets to farm up, catch up whatever they can, complete first item, maybe complete second item, and then just start team fighting with the tanks.
Sounds so simple.
I mean, that mid tower was so easy to take down with Corki mid. You were already winning side lane with Lucian Bomb, whatever.
1-3-1. So it's the
Can you
game
just change the numbers just a little bit?
No, because the entire context is different.
I know.
We have a game plan.
Yeah,
that is the strategy.
1-3-1.
And that's what Roccat are sticking to. Got a dragon fight breaking out on the hunt. Used fairly early, I feel, by Holy Phoenix, and a gigantic chunk from Betsy onto Holy Phoenix. Rudy flashes over the wall, but the body slam will not find a target. Dragon is helping Roccat out. Holy Phoenix is down. One of the damage sources. Dredge line onto Betsy. Godbro and Whirlip flash away defensively.
Right, it doesn't matter
the Winter's Bite secures a kill, and Huma have lost 4, and the Dragon. It's all gone wrong, but Roccat are ecstatic.
And the 1-3-1, I guess, from Roccat. You know, they literally just walked down to this dragon that's already forcing Huma to take quite a lot of damage, and they could never engage properly. I think they also missed almost everything in that fight, and Roccat is kind of walking, but like, okay.
See, again, it's playing the long game.
You're right, Trevor.
Got the dragon, got the mid tower, got the ace, and it got the bottom inner turret.
Fixed it. I mean,
oh, I didn't predict nothing.
They're tanking here, and at the same time, you're now standing in the dragon pit, so you can't really engage properly as this full tank composition. You want to be the one TPing in, getting to the back line. Betsy just freely hitting everyone together with the dragon, and ulti missing from Rudy here, and Huma is like connecting onto no one, and then obviously your entire comp falls behind. And we just talked about how they actually got a chance to sit and farm up now. Huma's like, we don't want farm, we just want to start dragon now. So like, instead of both teams are not accepting what the other team is giving them. You're giving us chance to scale up and farm up with these tanks? Fine, we'll take it. Should have been the play. End up being, let's rush dragon with 5 so we can't like flank this flank engage onto you with all our tanks at all, and like just tank the dragon.
Well, Roccat have a 6,000 gold lead by 20 minutes. The last time they had a lead like this was 3 games ago. And they closed that one out pretty convincingly. For Huma, they're playing so far from behind. Where is Godbro? He's still in base, so he's not going to be able to get to lane before the next 5 seconds. At 109 CS at 20, that is the lowest amount of CS at 20 minutes for a mid laner all year long. The previous lowest record was Senkak's on Lulu, where he had 130.
You're very smart, Trevor. You just remember that kind of stuff.
That's it. I just pull these records out.
Yeah.
You know, got them in there.
But now the 1-3-1 is good.
Okay, so now we
the
like
main
what
thing,
they want.
because now your mid tower is dead already. That was the tower I wanted them to take before, you know, to speed up the game and force Huma even further back on the map. So it's just free dragons for Roccat and everything. But now it's good because, as we said, you don't really want to straight up. I mean, okay, you're this far ahead, so technically you can team fight. But this is good now from Roccat because now they get to play the 1-3-1. You know, they get to split up these tanks super easily. And I gotta hand it to you, Trevor and Roccat. You know, they knew it.
It was the
wait for that dragon fight that's going to happen.
And it worked out.
And it worked out.
202 for Freddy. He's got 130 CS, Sunfire Cape, as well as the Thornmail completed. Maybe trying to find targets. Game changing from Werlip, as he's got Sunfire Cape and the Iceborne Gold completed. A song of fire and ice, if you will.
Yeah.
But for Huma, it might be a eulogy. This could be their last game today. Unless they can find a mistake. Unless they can find a team fight with this heavy tank composition.
So the thing Roccat did struggle with before when they played the 1-3-1 was like, they would have like 2 lanes pushing and then when one guy were backing off and actually gives openings for engages. You have double TP, you have a lot of hard engage, you have severe ulti. Huma just waiting for Roccat to slip up in one of the side lanes and then just hard engage mid straight away. Or maybe even hard engage on Betsy top when he's the man pushing down and try and force that team fight. They are.
There's a teleport being forced.
On Betsy.
Betsy's just flashed away. Godbro can chase. He's running, but not going to find a target.
Got the flash, but ended up using a TP forward, so...
Probably not worth... distortion? Maybe worth.
Still, I mean, it's the play we talked about, you know, hey, you do... If you're Huma, you have to just try and force fights. Like, that's why, again, going for that dragon was such a bad play for them, because it forced them into a really bad setup when they weren't even ready, because they hadn't even completed one item yet, and like the Northlands was so far down. And that really snowballed Roccat out of control.
Roccat are going to continue to accelerate their lead. Starting to back off, spend additional gold. Just look at the item differences between these players. Infinity Edge Triforce already completed. Betsy's just going to look to 1v1 Betsy, even though he gets pinned against the wall.
One-on-one himself.
Not going to matter. Support comes in, and Noxia gives him the chair. Sends him back to base with that Winter's Bite.
Wrong skin.
Yeah, I know, but it's more exciting that way. Is it a dragon's head on that skin?
I think it is.
I'll pay closer attention to the particle.
I want to see what it is when it actually throws out the Q.
Alright, well, hopefully the observers will...
Actually, no, the Q is just the same as always, so that doesn't change.
Yeah. I mean, that's why it's the chair on the Altiga Braum. It's actually a rotating chair. I mean, we don't just say that for fun, dude.
No, it's more like when you auto-attack and you smack him with the chair.
Oh, yeah, but he also actually shoots out a fold-up chair, like they do in wrestling. Dude, you need to pay more attention.
That is sick!
I should not be teaching you that.
I actually didn't know his Q changed at all with the skins.
Yes, it does. Alright, so Betsy's in trouble. Tower's already gone down to edgeline. Will chase, flash into the hook. That will be a kill, but at what cost?
Lost mid tower for it, so Roccat are happy enough with that trade. Betsy had no flash and had gone back to his side lane where he likes to live.
Yeah.
Likes to get ganked quite a bit. Yeah, true, it is like orange. It's cute.
Yeah.
You win.
You know, the worst part is I was actually looking at items, so I even missed it that time around. Sorry, observers. I'll pay closer attention next time.
Oh, and there's definitely a different color.
Yeah. Everybody, if you're watching at home, tweet Deficio.
No, it's
GIFs of the chair,
It's because
just so he can know.
I'm a bit like FLICKR.
You don't play the skins?
I don't really like the skins that much. I do actually like a lot of the skins.
I was going to say, that's
I don't
a flat out lie.
I don't play with the skin except for Project Lucian, which is a super cool skin. So that's the only reason.
Okay, that's fine. One time faking the skins for somebody who was testing the machine.
Yeah, and everything.
Default,
He didn't even want the skin.
he was quite disappointed by that.
And when you have 2 skins now, you have to use one of them at least.
Yeah.
Like, come on, if you play Rise as Z, you gotta use that skin.
You just will make another one. Regardless, Roccat. Dragon is up. The last time Huma tried to contest this dragon, it did not go well. Roccat
Different setup now, though. You actually have a few tank items completed.
Yeah,
you
but
also
10,000 go down.
If you want to fight this, you actually want Roccat to start it, and then you TP in behind them. Problem is there's 0 wards, there's 1 ward just behind them.
And no
that's it.
TPs.
And actually no TPs either, so that's why you give up the dragon, and it's now 3 dragons to 0. It's a good way if you are against the comp that will be very difficult to fight against later. Just start stacking up these early dragons. Because then when you get to 5 dragons, you don't really care about that full tank composition.
Yep.
And Huma has, sadly for them, made some very poor decisions in this game. And what looked like a very exciting comp, I liked it on paper, you know, double 80 carry, you just stack full tanks. It fell extremely far behind.
Yes.
And now the tanks will still have an impact if they can't get a proper engage, but
It's so difficult.
Yeah,
now.
it is so difficult.
And even if you do get a proper engage, if Freddy's able to shut down Holy Phoenix, that buys a lot of time for Betsy and for Tabs to Valk and to dash. Well, there's no summoners on Betsy, not for a few seconds at least, but he's played relatively safe. Tabs may as well stop paying rent in the middle lane.
Yeah.
Been there a long, long time.
He's definitely taxing the mid lane quite a bit.
Yeah, 254 CS, still down and when compared to Holy Phoenix, but that's nothing really to write off, and there's 5 kills, 3 assists, and this gigantic lead. For Roccat, it really is now just
slow and steady, wait for Baron setup, and then we've talked about, you can just package on Dragon.
That's it, the stun will connect. Cast will at least boot Betsy away. Rudy flashes over the wall, plays at the official, respect that he needs to. This will be the kill into Holy Phoenix. Glacial Fissure will separate Roccat, but it still may not be enough. A death onto Cast. Roccat are not done yet. Betsy completely untouched. He pushes forward, and Roccat can peel backwards for the Baron. Freddy is really healthy enough to tank this one up.
Roccat didn't even need to set up the fancy stuff here, you know, bait out the Baron, they come in to try and stop you, and you TP in with the Rammus. No, just pack it straight over for Betsy. You have full control of the enemy jungle for the last, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Basically, that's your Baron. Over 10,000 gold ahead at 27 minutes.
A package to the face here for Rudy.
This is what happens again when you control the jungle. You can't just walk in alone and start clearing it out. You will get engaged on that one. That's what happens here, and then the start of Freddy comes in, gets hold of Phoenix straight away. You can see where it's supposed to be. The watch at all. And then
That's all she wrote. Roccat
says thank you very much.
Convincingly pick up the team fight, extend that lead even further. Another 1-3-1 might swap. They might be a bit drastic here and put Betsy top lane and Freddy bottom.
Betsy's been top in the last 10 minutes. I know a bit like this. Oh, you talk about skins and so on, you're missing the game.
Well, Freddy's got teleport available if it's needed. Oh, Betsy's gone middle.
Yeah, this is a 1-4 setup. There's something wrong here.
Yeah, something wrong indeed.
Well, I guess if you have Baron against only one wave clear, why won't you just start pushing all 3 lanes? Obviously, they're just waiting, I know, for the mini wave coming top, and then Betsy's gonna go catch it. But there's only one wave clear, that's the Sivir, so just push the other lanes, then you will get a free tower. Betsy should go grab that wave on top side.
Should be slowly pushing towards Huma, I think, if I'm looking at that mini-map correctly. I'll catch a glimpse of it in a few minutes' time. Freddy's gonna keep
no matter what, minions, just go take it because it speeds it up for you.
Get in.
You wanna use this Baron buff as much as possible.
Powerball interrupted there. As Whirlip takes a couple of shots. Culling will tried to dissuade Godbro. It doesn't do a whole lot, but it doesn't matter because the tower has just been chunked down. And teleports in from behind. Last-ditch effort. Body slam will not find Airwax. There was no flash available for Rudy. The barrel finds nothing either. Airwax hops over the wall. Well, it will be finding some time as Betsy's knocked up into the air, but here comes Freddy. The kill onto Holy Phoenix means the follow-up damage is gone. Rudy is down, followed shortly by Godbro and the rest of Huma. Whirlip is the last man standing. This could be a gigantic final push. Roccat have 5 members chasing into the base of Huma.
What a great game, honestly, from Roccat. This one here. Again, Betsy is playing fantastic. In this mid lane, have Eric around him. Fully deserved.
A convincing, crushing victory in favor of Roccat. They requalify for the LCS, taking down Huma 3-1.
We only lied a little bit on Twitter, saying it could be a 3-0. Roccat in game 1, game 2, and game 4, he's been looking strong. Again, I mean, I can't really blame Huma for going for this full tank setup. They see the Corki coming in early.
Yep, the theory was sound.
You know, they're like, you know, this is a game where maybe you pull out something surprising. A lot of misplays though from Huma, and I think swapping that Nautilus bot lane, as we talked about in the game, it just destroyed Godbro. Like, he was like 140 CS down. And the game wasn't even 30 minutes.
Roccat, clearly the stronger team on the day. The one game that they did lose, maybe underestimating the 2v2, maybe not predicting the lane swap in terms of that game 3, where they did get
potentially.
Yeah.
After they actually got stuck in the lane, didn't really know how to get out of it. They had a few opportunities, but we've seen both challenger teams now lose. Obviously, Giants took out Copenhagen Wolves on day 1 and knocked them straight out of the tournament.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you were the lowest seed coming in. This one, Roccat, as you said, were clearly the better team.
Yeah.
It was only in that standard lane setup with their Jhin Bard, Huma played well, and that even ended up becoming such a close game that actually
it could have gone either way.
Could have
by
gone
the end of the
either
match.
way. So fully deserved, you know, the Roccat wins this one.
Now this is very interesting because of course Splice and Roccat have now requalified for the 8th and 9th spots in the summer split. There's only one position remaining, and Huma, the guys on stage now, busy getting some congratulations from opponents' managers, and they will be back tomorrow. They will be taking on Giants. So
it was the match Whirlip wanted.
Yep, that storied battle
I mean,
between Whirlip and his former organization.
And that's going to be crazy because it's not even just a match of like, oh, can I get into the LCS before you and you might have a second chance? This is legit. If we win, we knock you out. We knock you into Challenger.
Yeah.
So Whirlip gets
much
the
on the line.
chance. Giants have played a lot better though in this tournament than we expected, coming in with this very new roster, obviously with the Koreans, Sunstar and Wisdom as well. And Huma showed a lot of issues.
It was interesting, right? Because Roccat was so clearly better than Huma throughout almost every department. But all of the weaknesses and the mistakes that we've seen from Roccat in the LCS are still there, are still apparent. Some of the positioning mistakes, some of the timing on when they make plays around objectives. So it's interesting to see how big of a gap there was between the number 1 challenger team and the number 9 LCS team. And it's something that we'll be talking a lot more about as the weekend continues. For now, we're going to hit on stage where Pyrotechnics is ready to talk to the mid-jungle duo.
Thank you very much, Quickshot. I am, of course, joined by Betsy and Airwax. So first off, congratulations, gentlemen, back in the LCS. What's next for Roccat? Where do you plan to go from here into Summer Split?
Hopefully we will do better during the regular split and we won't end up in the relegations. That's pretty much my goal, and I hope to go to like the, what's it called, the playoffs, yeah, of course.
Well, I'll be happy to see you guys there as well. So, long-standing LCS organization. Going forward now, or actually, let's go backward. We'll wind a little bit and talk about those games. You guys seem to be on fast track to get that 3-0. Then you dropped the game, a lot of power picks given away. Can you tell me what went wrong in game number 3?
I think we lost game 3 because I got caught too much time. I think this game should have been won if I played better. Yeah, basically, I think this game should have been won, but I basically threw the game.
Well, I've been very, very hard on yourself, but I think you guys still played fantastically throughout the end of it. So looking forward at the end of it all, when you guys faced off against this big Uber tank company, you were able to contest objectives and take them out in big fights where it looked like they might have even had the edge. What do you guys think of the best the Challenger Series has been able to offer so far?
To be honest, I expected a bit more from Huma, because those games were actually much easier than I expected. And the other teams, I haven't had a chance to play against them that much, so I can't really tell.
It's fair enough. And the last question, of course, for you, Eriks. What do you, if you can make a prediction about tomorrow, Giants versus Huma, who do you think will take that one away and how many games?
I think Giants 3-1 or 3-2.
Well, we'll find out. So thanks again for joining me, gentlemen. Once again, congrats on making it back in the LCS. Look forward to seeing you both in the summer split. For now, though, we are going to send it back over to the analyst desk to break it down and finish out the day.
Thug life over there.
Yeah, when you gotta win the promo tournament at 10, but you gotta drop the hottest mixtape of the year at 11. Betsy, straight up thugging. He did play well.
You show?
He did
No.
play well overall, but
Yeah.
Interesting hood.
Yeah,
That's
just put
our
it on right as
announcence.
they ended, I think.
No, he's been playing like
Oh,
the
he
entire
has
day.
been? I mean, maybe he's cold or ears are cold or something like that.
I hate it when you play.
Or
when you
he's
have
just
cold
badass.
ears.
I think he's just badass.
Okay.
He is badass. In any case, Roccat, badass, cleaning this up as per your prediction. 3-1 versus Huma.
Our prediction.
Did you say 3?
Our prediction.
3-1 as well?
Yes.
Okay, cool. In any
Smart
case,
boy.
Thank you very much. You too, by the way.
we thought it might be really hard for them at the beginning of this final game because they were up against that tank composition and then buffed up by Deceiver. So what did they do, or what did Huma do to not succeed, and what did Roccat do to prevail?
Huma did not pick Lissandra.
Yes, and Huma did actually super weird comp. I mean, it was probably the ultimate Sivir comp where we have 4 tanks running at like enemy carry, and then Sivir is the ultimate scatter cap, which just provides ult, and she should probably build Righteous Gorilla as well, and it will be like so good. But except for it, I think they just lack damage, and maybe in fights around 10-15 minutes it was good, but at some point you'll just get outscaled.
Yeah, and one of those fights that they convincingly lost was the dragon fight. We have a replay of that. We can get that up on the screen. And Jankos, you felt very passionate about this fight.
I mean, this is Huma straight up trolling, because, well, you don't start objective versus a team that has to peel back and poke you, because right now they are just getting like pre-poked, they cannot initiate, and when the fight starts, already most of the Huma ults are down and they are just out dead. And Sivir cannot do damage because she's left alone in Drake Pit and just dies. And I mean, there is nothing they can possibly do, to be honest. Like, doing objective as a team that has to like go on someone is doing objective, and also Roccat had like peel back comp is just straight up trolling or like
Yeah, unfortunate series of events there. Rudy as well with the E flash, and then the ulti hits nobody. It started off with a fantastic Braum ultimate on 3 people though, and just like you said, if you start an objective with a comp where your main goal prerogative is to Zerg somebody down and then blow that up with your base damages, if you give, there were 3 escape paths for Roccat. You know, one guy could go to the left, one guy could go up, one guy could go to the right, and then the 2 tanks in the front line can protect the chokehold at the entrance of the Dragon Pit. That is the most ideal fight for this comp, and they were just handed the win right there.
Handed the win and took their spot back in the LCS and in the summer split is where we will see them. Also, we have to crown an MVP, and in this fight from Roccat for getting back into the LCS, our eyes were on Betsy. Did more than a share, bringing his team to victory. Definitely so. 22 kills, a KDA of 9.75 over 4 games. He is our MVP. It was a hard choice at times because Arax had some great games, but of course that unfortunate throw back in game 3. And you were saying how Arax and Betsy are such integral parts to Roccat.
I mean, I feel like even in the LCS when Roccat is winning most of the early games, it's just because of Airwax and Betsy. I mean, those 2 guys work really well together, and also I think they have huge impact on their team. And without them, the team will be probably much worse. Also, yeah, they just straight up carried the BO5 right now. It was not Freddy, it was not Nokshak or anyone else. It was straight up only Airwax and Betsy.
So without them, the team would be off much worse. They're already in the promotion tournaments. What does that lead us to think about Roccat for the summer split?
Maybe get some progression, because there is something to be said for Roccat with this loss that it came in very late. They're still building on some fundamental issues though. But as with many teams, I feel it just goes too slow. Like as Jankos pointed out, it's the coach's job to kind of teach these fundamental game concepts, and a lot of these lower tier orgs, they're just really not playing the fundamentals right. Some 1-3-1 split pushes, 4-1s, like lane swaps. These are all things that can get improved. It's very easy to criticize, of course, but we have to be critical and see where does the infrastructure, coaching staff, analysts really teach these concepts to the teams, because once everybody has the basics down, that's when you get the beauty of League of Legends.
I mean, that's why for me, for example, I just love Proli so much, you know, because this guy is making us so strong. Like, people may not realize how good of a coach is he. I feel like most of the top teams, like for example Origin, I feel like they have really good players, but they don't have the coach to actually teach them how to play. I mean, help them at least. And what happens is that they have to learn on their own, which is way slower, even and less efficient, right? So teams like, for example, us or G2 even or Vitality, we have good coaches and we are actually performing well because of them. So yeah, I just wanted to get my few words on Proli because he's such a good coach.
Yeah.
I love it, Proli.
He also says it off air, so he's actually not lying.
Yeah, he's been saying it all day. We're like, Jankos, please shut up about Proli now.
I like
No,
this.
just
I'm
kidding.
a
Great coach.
full-on Proli fanboy. I visited him for a feature. I saw like 50 minutes of how he operated, and then an in-depth interview of his coaching philosophy, some of which I don't agree with necessarily, but I just respect how vehemently he adores to it, and that for me just like big Proli fanboy.
You can check that out on the Esports YouTube,
Same.
by the way, as well.
Yeah.
It's still there, the
Same.
coaching highlight. However, nice Proli spotlight there, but let's go back to the promotion tournament and the teams at hand. Let's take a look at the brackets and to see what is next on the road to the LCS. Obviously, Splice, Roccat requalified. Copenhagen Wolves were out already. So now, that last stand, Giants versus Huma, a best of 5. The Giants already played 10 games over the last 3 days. Huma now played 4 games. And it's the battle. Warlip versus his ex-team. That storyline is happening. But the consensus seems to be that Giants should take this quite easily.
I mean, for me, I think even though Giants lost today, they performed really well against CW. That was actually super close to winning versus Huma. So I just think like tomorrow is going to be kind of similar day, which is like 3-1 for probably Giants. The lane swaps are in favor of Giants as well. The individual players are in favor of Giants as well. So I think it will be really tough for Huma, and it will probably be an upset to see them win versus Giants. But definitely the Giants versus Warlip matchup is kind of hype.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I think there are some conditions that can be met where Huma wins, but it's so unlikely. Like a majority of the focus of the games on standard lanes. Some of these weird picks, like Giants don't play Sivir. I haven't really seen them prioritize Lissandra. If somehow Huma gets this comp over and over and gets standard lanes and maybe get the Bard in there, they can maybe punish the bot lane, but it's unlikely because Giants pick and bans have looked pretty good.
I just don't see that, you know. I just kind of don't see that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. 3-1, maybe 3-2. I mean, we've had 14 out of possible 15 games. Let's make it 19 out of 20 tomorrow. It's my day off, so I'm not cutting in. So make it a nice, enjoyable 5 days, 5 games.
I'll be here holding down the fort with the rest, not taking a day off like this lazy bum next to me. No, in any case, something that Trevor said also is quite interesting. If Giants do win yesterday, that means that every single one of the LCS teams has requalified, and there is a serious gap if that game tomorrow goes the way we think it is between that first place and second place challenger team and the rest of LCS.
I mean, I think the new system, again, is not really supporting the amateur players too well. I mean, even though it's a gauntlet and you have a lot of chances to actually qualify for the LCS, well, LCS teams are just better, and we spent way more time practicing and playing than amateur teams. So obviously, at some point, there's going to be a difference, even if in macro play, in individual players, well, they are kind of doomed, you know.
I do like it that it really raises then the overall level of the LCS.
Yeah.
The only debatable topic is where a team with perhaps a higher ceiling may not make it in the LCS right now because they're worse, but they may have more room for growth. But eventually, you know, if you want to make it in, you now have, if you're first in Challenger, 2 chances to make it in. If you still then don't make it in, you just simply don't deserve it. I think the system overall is more accurate because with the old system, depending on who chooses which team, it could be a little tricky overall, and you have to like kind of get a gift from some of the other teams picking whatever opponent you didn't. And right now you have 2 shots to make it in if you win that first best of 5 too. So fair overall.
I mean, it's kind of fair for the 10th SCS team as well because, well, last year it was just, you know, instantly dropping out, which was kind of unfair.
Even if you're better than the other team.
Yeah, even if you are better than the challenger team, you just instant drop out. So I think, like you said, that system is fair, but it's just harder for challenger players. But if they will try hard and if they will, you know, make some sacrifice to actually like try hard and play the game a lot, then I think it's possible for sure. But
definitely.
yeah, they have their test, you know.
Yeah, tomorrow might be too early for Huma, though we will see the 2016 European Summer Promotion Tournament concludes tomorrow with the final best of 5
Final
between
from Texas, Tennessee.
Please read it, because I can't.
Giants versus Huma. They play tomorrow. Best of 5. I want you to watch that at 5 p.m. CST.
It's not
or
that easy,
at 8
Sid.
a.m. PDT. I can't read very well. Anyways, it's on your screen. Please come and watch it. You'll be there. I won't. Shocks will be.
Yeah,
It's going to be fantastic.
The important thing is that we are switching to daylight savings time as well. So reset your clocks, or some phones do that automatically. And we'll be back at 5 p.m. Jankos, thank you so much for joining us. For your expert analysis. Thank you, Crepo, for being here.
You're welcome.
That's all from us here in Berlin. It is clearly time to call off. Thanks to Mithy, thanks to Jankos and everyone for watching. And we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
It's time to hit the rift as we kick off this best-of-5 fight for the summer split. And Giants getting knocked left, right, and center. It's Wisdom that's bopped into the team. And Smitty J gets the knock up on the hammer, but they're not done just yet. Giants are starting to evaporate. Senkuk's taking a lot of poke, trying to go in. Gets a 4-man Shurima shuffle, but it wasn't going to be enough in the first place. Giants just clean house. And now the Nexus turrets are going to fall. Giants are going to take this one.
Adios, amigo. This is game 1 going to Giants.
Exhaust on a Peppy, but it won't matter. Double kill over to Lucian. And now Trashy is going low. Wonderware's going down. Triple kill. And is that going to be it? The quadra kill. Giants will go up 2-1 over Splice. Wonderware gets the knockup, and Hustler is down. In comes Trashy again. They look for Smitty. The double kill for Senkux. Nisbeth with another massive Mad Life hook. And the Nexus will fall. 24 minutes, and Splice are back on the board. Keep blinking those health bars. Hustler will fall after Wisdom. And now, that's going to be it. Splice in a massive fight are going to finish it off.
I'm moving. I'm still behind him. I'm still behind him. I'm behind him. LeBlanc. I got LeBlanc.
Nice.
Can you turn on Lulu? I got a flash.
I'm ulti.
We get them here.
You can kill them all.
Pilla.
And Roccat are just one dead Nexus away from requalifying. Now, the minion wave has conga lined its way in.
Oh, the crit! He gets it!
For the game! Huma have won the game! Here comes Freddy. The kill onto Holy Phoenix means the follow-up damage is gone. Rudy is down. A convincing, crushing victory in favor of Roccat.